On my last trip to Southeast Asia, I visited Singapore, Bangkok and Cambodia, which was the country where I stumbled across the fascinating city of Siem Reap. Arriving at the airport in the afternoon, my tour guide took me straight to my hotel as it was an early night for me because of one of the most exciting mornings of my life coming up the next day. So this is it, this is what we're here for, a rather spectacular sunrise. Lonely Planet Guide's #1 thing to do in the whole world, watch sunrise over the ancient temple of Angor Wat, and let me tell you, it wasn't a disappointment.
Whoa, this gets really steep.
The 4:30 AM start on my first morning in Siem Reap meant that the temples were actually quite empty straight after, so I had loads of time to explore them pretty much on my own, just me and my fantastic tour guide Boon from InsideAsiaTours.com, who I simply couldn't have done this trip without. The temple complexes are vast and cover miles, yet he knew every single nook and cranny, and together with my driver, all three of us managed to get around the temples for the rest of the day, pretty much avoiding the crowds. And despite being very hot, it really was a spectacular day and an experience I'm not going to forget for my whole life. After a sweaty day of exploring the temples of Siem Reap, I was rather relieved to find out that my evening had a much calmer affair in store. Together with my tour guide, we took to the moat of Angor Wat, which is a huge lake which goes all around the ancient city, and it was a great way to watch the sun set after the morning's sunrise. Later in the evening, I was even treated to a tropical thunderstorm just before bed. The next day, just after breakfast, I was picked up once again by my tour guide Boon and taken out to the countryside to experience Cambodian life away from the ancient cities. I was treated to a traditional ride on an ox cart and also met some locals which were very keen to show me some of their local produce, drinks and food before later in the evening heading to a local Cambodian house for dinner, where I was even serenaded by a Cambodian band. That was until sunset, when Cambodia's natural soundtrack tends to take over. Have a listen to this. A spectacular end to a brilliant trip in Siem Reap. I hope you've enjoyed my Cambodian highlights. During this trip, I also visited Singapore and bustling Bangkok, so make sure you subscribe and like the videos to keep up to date with all of my travels as Captain Global.